sure? Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? There we go. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, and you have joined us this morning on a beautiful, beautiful rainy Sunday morning. What a blessing the rain is. For some light fun. Let's have some light fun today. You know, one of the things that that my message is focused on today is allowing ourselves to be playful. You know, there's as much spirit and joy in playfulness as there is in the serious meditative times. So let's celebrate today. What do you say? If you're watching online, you're going to see some beautiful faces of members of our community that are going to come up for you as we launch into our first song. And, you know, the song is called Dancing in the Street, so feel free to stand up and move your body if you are able and would like to. Calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? Spirit's here and the time is right for dancing in the street. They're dancing in Toronto and in Nigeria. They're bobbing up in Sweden. All we need is music, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. They'll be swinging and swaying and records playing, dancing in the street. Oh, it doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. So come on, everyone, dance and twirl everywhere around the world. Let's start dancing.
Dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
This is an invitation across all nations, a chance for folks to meet. They'll be laughing, singing, and music swinging, and dancing in the street. Philadelphia, PA,
Dancing in the street.
Baltimore, and DC now. Can't forget Motor City.
Dancing in the street.
All we need is music, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. They'll be swinging and swaying and records playing, dancing in the street. Oh, it doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. So come on, everyone, dance and twirl everywhere around the world. Let's start dancing.
Dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Way down in LA,
Dancing in the
every day they're dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Let's form a long line,
Dancing in
get
the
in
street.
time, we're dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
Across the ocean blue,
Dancing
me
in the
and you, we're dancing in the street. I love starting the day like that. I love standing up, getting the blood pumping, and doing a little movement, getting the body flowing, loosening those joints. Yes, it's a fun, fun way to start. So yes, once again, and it's a great spiritual practice, you know, like the whirling dervishes. Yeah. Once again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, beautiful humans, to another high energy Sunday morning, because I am nothing if not high energy. Yeah. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. We are a spiritual community. We are here to teach and engage practical tools for a better life. The whole point and purpose of this thing called spirituality, I think, is to put it to practice in our lives. And when we do that, we actually activate this forward motion, this forward momentum that I like to call spiritual evolution. And I think that we can purposefully activate that spiritual evolution and grow the expression and experience of our lives. And that's the value, I believe, of spiritual practice. So that's what we're here to celebrate. It's what we are here to teach. And I'm so grateful that you have decided to join us on this beautiful morning. I do want to say, of course, hello to everybody who's watching online and say you are present here just as much as anybody who's physically in the room. And I'm grateful that you're sharing your energy with us. There are tenets that I have brought to this thing called ministry that I have adopted into my experience, and I invite you to take them on in your own personal, magnificent way. These are the tenets that I carry with me. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. I believe that the entire philosophy can basically be summed up in that vision. It really is a vision. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. You are the most divine. You are the most exquisite. You are the most magnificent you that you can be. Yeah, sounds good, yes? Yes, our work is to awaken to our magnificence. I would love to, if you're joining us for the first time today, first of all, if you're joining us online for the first time today, we would love for you to connect with us. You can go to unitytucson.com/connect, and you can fill out some information there just to let us know that you've shared your time here with us this morning. If you are in the room and you are joining us for the first time, if you would like to identify yourself, we invite you to stand up. We have a gift for you. We would love to welcome you with open arms. Grateful to have you here. Thank you, thank you. And as they bring the gifts around, I'm going to invite you to remain standing because there's another gift that we have for you. And that is what this community knows about you. We know something. We've been doing our research because we knew you were coming here today. And here's what we know about you. If everyone is ready on the count of three, let them know. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. And I think that, as we're awakening to our own magnificence and we hear other people tell us how magnificent we are, let us normalize that magnificence in our hearts by exclaiming for ourselves, I am magnificent. What do you say? Let's say that together. I am magnificent. Yes, yes, yes. I am, you are, we are, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to invite us all to take a few moments to relax. As we move into a time of quieting and a time of contemplation, we can contemplate on that inherent magnificence that we are. And I'm going to invite Laura Cass, our prayer chaplain today, to lead us through some quiet contemplation.
Oh, let us take this very deep breath to go into the silence and be thankful for all that is before us. The beautiful, blessed rain. Thank you, God. The beautiful blessings of our prayer box here up front, where you all have placed prayers for those you hold in your heart and whatever circumstances require prayer. If it's comfortable, have your eyes closed. Put your feet on the floor. Plant them firmly to connect to blessed Mother Earth. Relax. Relax. Let yourself drift slowly away in the silence. Inhale. Inhale the deep, sweet breath of the love of that which we call spirit. And exhale that which does not serve you. Quietly, quietly. As you feel your feet on the floor with that connection to Mother Earth, feel the warmth as it moves up through the soles of your feet. Through your legs, through your thighs, the warm love of God. The warmth flows into your hands, which may be on your lap and open to receive all that is good. The warmth flows up through your arms and into your heart space. Quietly, relaxing, drifting. From there to your shoulders, which as they relax and release any burden that may be there, and into your neck, and so onto your scalp, where as that relaxes, we know that our brow is now unfurrowed. Inhaling, exhaling. We are relaxed, we are calm, we are open and accepting that which is ours to receive. The goodness, the fullness of life, and the sharing of precious love.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
So secret, this precious love. I will share this love. It is perfection. We continue to breathe in our sacred breaths breathe out all that we find that is not loving and precious. We are relaxed, still drifting. We acknowledge and we accept the knowingness of our ability to share our precious love with each other, our community, our world. The greater expansionness of this sharing brings a greater love and peace as it multiplies. All of us, individually and as the whole, create the consciousness of our being and the circulation of sacred, precious love. And so it is. Amen.
I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love, this love, this love.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. I'm going to introduce to you a new keeper of the flames this week. If Mary Alls would please join me. I'm grateful. I'm like, I should come over and help you up on stage. No?
I fell this week and I got a knee that's a little itchy.
Mary is here to light the flames of faith. This is a ceremony, a ritual that we do each week that I introduced to this community when I came to be the minister here. In this, we are honoring all the faith traditions, all the religions, all the spiritual ideologies worldwide. That's an important part of me. You know, we call ourselves Unity, and we should really understand what unity means, that all of it, every path is right, and every path is good, and every path is born from that one magnificent golden thread of love. And let's celebrate that together this morning as we light these candles. So we first light a candle for the Tao, which teaches that the purpose of life is inner harmony, peace, and longevity. And this is achieved by living in accordance with the Tao. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, which teaches that through a close relationship with the natural world, one gains guidance, support, and wisdom to live their best life. We light a candle for Hinduism, which teaches that we are able to escape bondage, ignorance, and a state of illusion through multiple experiences of life. And each life leads us closer to enlightenment. We light a candle for Judaism, which teaches the highest calling is to follow the commandments of God and to live ethically according to law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, which teaches the purpose of life is to avoid suffering and to gain enlightenment. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, which teaches salvation from sin through faith in Christ, through sacraments, and through good works. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, which teaches that through submission to the will of love, the will of God, one will gain paradise. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, which teaches that the soul is eternal and essentially good, and that the purpose of life is to develop spiritually and draw closer to God. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, which teaches the divinity of all creation and the supremacy of thought over matter, and that through a law of mind action, we can create and recreate the circumstances of our lives. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. This final candle we light is the healing candle. This candle represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of God energy, the revelation of the divine. For that is what we teach is the true nature of healing, the uncovering of God in all experience, in all circumstance. This healing can be done in many ways, through forgiveness, compassion, through the work that we do in this New Thought philosophy. We are always in a state of healing. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. The candle here on your right, your left, my right, is the peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated with this understanding. It represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow that peace to unfold through our thoughts, our experiences, our intentions, we create a more peaceful experience of the world, and it's all centered right where we are. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed it does, yes. Mary, what a delight to have you here. Oh, she's bringing something. She's got something in hand.
Homework.
Homework, yes. If you're new to our community, you will find out that I give homework every Sunday. And she is ready to share her homework. So here's what the homework was last week. The homework last week was to seek out a way of being in service during the week. And if you're already someone who is in service, to perhaps seek out a new way of being in service. Service with the idea that it is not about personal gain, but it is simply an act of love. And so, what I would love for you to tell me is, how did you engage in service this week, Mary?
A number of ways. I have a brother who's in assisted living, and I went there and I worked with the other patients, which was fun. I lit the candles. But I also did something that I thought was a lot of fun. And these are some of the bags for the bears.
Oh, here, I can hold it up. That is beautiful.
Yeah. That's a cougar,
I love it.
and this is a little doggy. And this is maybe my favorite. I picked up some of the beautiful fabric that we have in our gift shop, and I made pockets for shoes, and maybe some pockets for a CD or something like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, and these are all made out of pillowcases.
That's glorious. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for your sharing. I'm so grateful for your service, and I am so grateful for you shining your magnificence.
I'm so grateful for this wonderful church.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Alls. So these tote bags are part of our Bears in the Chairs program, which we do every year from Mother's Day till the last Sunday in July, where we collect stuffed animals, and there are people who make these tote bags. These animals will be given away to children who are being moved into foster care. And we also provide tote bags so that when they're leaving, they have a place to put some of their stuff, and it's not just in, a lot of them only get something like this to carry their stuff in. So making these bags, making these tote bags is a real support to children who are, going through an experience of life, and that's how I will describe that. I am deeply grateful to you, Mary. Thank you so, so very much. There's a song, one of my favorite songs in the whole world is by a friend of mine who's, he's actually Scottish, but grew up in Canada. He lives in Edmonton, Alberta. I always tell people he was like the 6th runner-up in Canadian Idol. Way back in the day. But he wrote this magnificent song. It's one of my favorites to sing.
This one's for the undiscovered geniuses. Or is it genii I never knew? Who write and paint and chisel in their bedrooms, known forever by the last name Who. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. You never had a hit song on the airwaves. You never broke out from the local scene. You didn't paste your walls with famous faces, and you prefer the window to the TV screen. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, dancing with your hopes and fears instead of chasing zeros. Don't jump before the cameras. The wise among us hardly ever speak, and every time we're sent a perfect teacher, we overlook them, 'cause we overlook the meek. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing hearts and hands, making stained glass from sand. This one's for the ones who know they're precious, but no more precious than the garbage man. I kiss you on your cheek, not on a poster, 'cause genius wants a lover, not a fan. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing hearts and hands, making mirrors from sand. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but cover stories can't uncover true lover.
Thank you. And now I should tell you the artist who wrote that song, because I didn't tell you before. I started singing the song, I thought, I didn't say who that was. His name is Martin Kerr. And yeah, he's a lovely, lovely man. His background is Baha'i, but he sings at a lot of the New Thought churches in Canada, and deeply grateful for his presence in the world and who he shows up as. And that song, just the whole song, just reminding us all that each and every one of us are genius. We are genius. We are all genius. And we should never, ever negate the fact that that is the core of our beingness. So I wanted to start today in my message by asking this question. Actually, several questions. I often start by asking several questions. Rhetorical questions, yes. Although if I ever ask for a question that I want a response to, I'll usually let you know. But the response for this, just see what comes up in your mind as these questions are presented. What is the authentic creative genius in you? Just check in with yourself. What is the authentic creative genius in you? Do you recognize that you are genius? Can you recognize that you are genius? Is that part of your paradigm, your consideration, your mental construct, to accept the fact that you are inherently genius? And you don't have to be a member of Mensa to claim your genius status. Although I did take the test, I took the practice test for Mensa this week. I don't know why, I just felt like, hey, no, this is something that looks like it could be fun to do. It was hard. Yeah, right? Yeah. There's a great, I don't know if any of you are familiar with TED Talks. There's a great TED Talk. It's got to be 15 years old now. The author Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, she gave this talk about uncovering your authentic genius as a TED Talk once. And one of the things that she was very clear to define is to say, genius actually is not something we are, which is surprising to people, right? Because she works within this paradigm that genius is the creative energy of the universe. Genius is the creative energy of the universe, and we all have access to it. We all have the capacity to flow with that creative genius that is the universe. She talks about in ancient Roman times that genius was basically an attendant spirit, right? This attendant spirit that was present with each and every one of us from our time of birth. And that to the degree that we are actually listening to genius, which is, if we put it into New Thought terms, it is allowing ourselves to tap into intuition, that life actually gets easier. So, do you recognize that you are tapped into genius? That's really what today is mostly going to be about. Do you recognize that for yourself? Or do you say, oh, no, that's not me. I can't possibly put myself up and honor myself as the magnificent genius that I am, because then people will think ill of me because I am puffing my chest out and being boastful and prideful. Let that go. Let it go. It is not serving you. It is not serving you. In childhood, we tap into our genius pretty easily. And we are socialized to let that go. But in childhood, the genius that is who and what we are, and the genius that we have attendant with us from birth, is letting itself be known through joy and through play. When do we decide to get rid of all that in our lives? You know, we are socialized into a construct that says we must go out and make a living, and we must be very businesslike and serious all the time. Anyone ever have that experience? Anyone ever? You know, when I was, before becoming a minister, I was primarily a theater professional. Mostly an actor, but I did other things. I produced, I directed, I did design work as well. And the shows that I always preferred to work on were the ones which tapped into a sense of playfulness. You know, as serious as a Tennessee Williams play can be, there can be a sense of playfulness behind the experience and actually creates a much more vivid experience in theater. So finding that playfulness within all of it is genius. There's a play that is a favorite of mine. I guarantee you, all but maybe two or three of you in the room will have ever heard of this play. It's a play called Yo Ho Ho, A Pirate's Christmas. And the reason I bring that up is because it is geared towards families. It's geared towards young audiences. And it was one of my favorite shows ever to do in my life partially because I got to be this crazy pirate captain. I get to play the pirate captain all the time. And the premise of the show is that these pirates, through a navigational error, found themselves at the North Pole. And they didn't know what to make of it. So they decide, hey, look, there's all these toys and games and things. There's lots of things of value here. We're going to steal all of those. So of course they're threatening Christmas, and the character that saves the day is a young 6-year-old elf named Eve. Christmas Eve, get it? I did that show every holiday for about 8 years running, and always grateful to do it. But I loved doing it because literally I got to throw all my own seriousness out the window every single performance, and we did like 9 shows a week. Did a lot of shows. And, you know, I would get to swing on ropes and, you know, sing and dance and a sword fight with Santa Claus and everything. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But just tapping into that sense of play. When was the last time that you actually tapped into that kind of sense of joyful playfulness? That's just as important to our spiritual practice than meditation. Just as important. That's tapping into our genius. Jean Houston, you know who Jean Houston is, yes? She's a philosopher and glorious, glorious light in this world. She wrote this. The core of each human being, that is the core of each and every one of us, the core of each human being is the original creative genius of the universe. We are, therefore, lensing of God, the lensing of God stuff on earth. What does that mean, the lensing of God stuff? There is an infinite creative power, an infinite creative presence, an infinite creative energy. We're going to call that genius today. And as we set our intentions into motion through our mind, through our conscious use of this energy, we actually lens, which is to say we focus that into the expression and experience of our lives. But we should never negate the fact that we are part of this infinite wholeness. That's why this philosophy, this organization is called Unity. It's inclusive of all that is. That's the core of our being. It's not something to possess. Because sometimes I think what happens is if we think we can possess genius, it ends up possessing us. It ends up being something that we become subject to, some idea, rather than living the allness freely and playfully. Ralph Waldo Emerson, brilliant. You know who so I've got Jean Houston, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Yo Ho Ho, A Pirate's Christmas. It's an important day. Emerson wrote this, I am ashamed to think how easily we capitulate to badges and names. to large societies and dead institutions. That's letting go of your genius. When you capitulate to the effects of the world and think that they somehow have power over you. You are the one creating your experience. Each and every one of us is the one creating our experience. And to understand that and to live that is genius. This week on my weekly video, the Midday Mindful Moment on Facebook, just as a side note, I'm going to be out of the country starting Wednesday, so there will not be a Midday Mindful Moment Wednesday through the following Wednesday. And I'll tell you what's happening at service next week, because now everybody's going, well, are you going to be here at Sunday? No, I'm not. I'll tell you about that later. This week on my Midday Mindful Moment, I brought up this notion, thank you to Anita for sending me a text message when I was late coming online. She just said nudge. N-U-D-G-E. And I thought, oh, that's a perfect message. So that video was about nudge that day. But it fits in perfectly here today. Nudge. Never underestimate divine guidance emerging. I cannot take credit for that. I did not coin this acronym. This is an acronym that was coined by my mentor in ministry, Dr. James Mellon. However, I've changed it for today. Never underestimate divine genius emerging. Because at all times, divine genius is emerging by means of each and every one of us, whether we want it to or not. The question becomes, are we choosing to direct that genius into the expression and experience of our lives, or are we just going to let it go willy-nilly and see what happens, see what comes up? Because it may be good, it may be what we call bad. But let's choose to direct it and focus it. Yeah, because as we do that, life just gets better. So stop thinking of genius as something you don't have or that you can have. Step into the truth that genius is who you are. But we are very quick to quell it all, right? Yes. That's all learned behavior. It's just learned behavior. Society tells us, advertising tells us, our parents tell us, our teachers tell us, everything tells us, squash it down. Let that idea go. How do we release the grip of this consciousness that many of us have taken on that quells the genius? Well, that is the title of today's talk. Enlighten up. Enlighten up. How do we enlighten up? Obviously it's a play on words. Lighten up really is what I'm, to lighten up. Just let's lighten up. Well, to enlighten up, we do have to lighten up for one. We have to stop with this idea that everything has to be serious all the time. We can be serious about spiritual practice and allow it to be fun at the same time. Part of my whole ministry is to have high energy, entertaining Sundays, because if church isn't fun, then what's the point? Not everybody resonates with that, and I'm okay with that. But I just want to have a good time. I want to have a good time. Because as Thomas Troward says, the one thing that is most important in life is joy. That is absolutely allowing the God essence and energy that is who and what we are to be fully expressed no matter what. Joy is what it's all about. If there is one purpose in life, it is joy. To live life in joy, as joy, with joy. Amen. So the message really today, to enlighten up, is to encourage this. Find ways this week to engage yourself in play as a spiritual practice. And don't beat yourself up for it. Because Because here's what happens. It's like, I'm going to engage in play, but I should be really working on that document that was due at work. But no, I'm going to engage in play. No, I got to do, nope. Engage in play. Find time to play this week. Find time to live from joy, with joy. I mean, how often do you let go of the things that you have to do to engage with the things that you want to do? I know that I have a real hard, actually, Laura will tell you. Laura is also the president of our board. And she will tell you that it's been a bit of a butting heads with me in particular to not work so darn hard all the time. I am what they call a workaholic. I let go of play and I work. But I'm here to say we've got to engage in more play more frequently all the time. So how do we do this? How do we engage in play without feeling guilty? Well, first of all, decide that play is just as important, if not more important, than the work you need to do. Absolutely, yes, you got to do that. Today, to enlighten up, which of course is lightening up in an enlightening way, I'm calling on all of us to find more playtime. Now, I was in California last week. Remember last Sunday I said I just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired. No, I flew in last Saturday when the storm was happening, and they got delayed and everything, and we were several hours late for landing, and I was exhausted last Sunday. It's because we were flying in from my having gone to California to officiate a wedding. Well, it was a wedding party of 8. We were all staying in the same cabin up in Fort Bragg, California, on the northern, heading towards the northern coast. And it was kind of an open-air loft idea. The night before the wedding, I decided that as the minister, I should really get some good rest. So I went up to my loft, and I went to bed, and I said, enjoy the evening. But what I didn't know is how much they were going to enjoy the evening. At about midnight, you know the game catchphrase, it's a little electronic device, it's like password, but there's a countdown clock, and so it's really exciting, it gets very tense. And as you hit the button, a word will come up, and you have to describe it to your partner, and they have to guess what the word is, but there are certain rules. You can't use any part of the word. You can't say, it starts with T. You can't use that. It starts with T and rhymes with honey, which I don't know what word that would be. It's just what came up in my mind. But the reason that I'm telling you this is because they started this game at midnight. And it's like we're all in the same room because it's a loft-style cabin. And so I'm trying to sleep, and they get so rambunctious, and they're screaming and yelling, and I'm just sitting there stewing. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm trying to sleep here, and they're not letting me sleep. And so, I was not engaged in a consciousness of play at that moment. And I let it get to me, and I let it get to me, and I let it get to me. At about 4 o'clock, they finally wound the game down, 4 a.m. And I was finally able to close my eyes and get some sleep. But I'll tell you what, the next morning I made sure they all knew how upset I was, that they were all playing. But I had a change of heart. I had a change of mind through that experience that day. As the day wore on, I thought to myself, why am I berating them for doing one of the things I teach, which is to enjoy life? Irrespective, there are other ways that I could have dealt with my sleep needs, but I could just as easily have stepped into that experience of play. And in retrospect, I wish I had. I really do wish I had. Yeah, I would have been up till 4 o'clock in the morning. I could have still gotten my beauty sleep because the wedding the next day was at 5:30 p.m. We got to find ways of lightening up. We got to find ways of letting go of the maddening ways that we berate other people for the lightness that they are expressing and experiencing. We got to find these ways. Let us find new ways to exuberantly express our being. Let us find new ways to be carefree. I'm going to invite us all to this week be really on the lookout for the ways in which we quell that or diminish the playful side by telling people, oh, I can't engage in that because I'm busy. Or, I can't engage in that. It would be irresponsible. Or, here's a real play killer. Oh, I can't do that. That's silly. If you hear yourself saying that in any way this week, rethink that. It's the whole point of new thought, to create a new thought, to rethink, to come up with a new idea. Dare to be silly. Dare to be silly. Create with abandon. Laugh out loud and laugh often. Enlightening up is a path to full genius expression. So take to heart today that you will play this week. Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits, as Emerson says, and engage in something a little more lighthearted and a little more fun, because that's what I am here to discover, more fun. Peace and blessings to you. You are magnificent. I bet you can't guess what the homework is this week. Trying to keep it simple. Find a new way to lighten up. Find a new way to enlighten up. Find ways of engaging in play in some way, or in a new way. If you're somebody who normally engages in play, find a new way to engage in play. That's the homework this week. Got it, Don? I only call you out because of last week. That's the homework. I've just said it. Let's go ahead and allow ourselves to relax right where we are and see if there's any spark of genius that is flowing through each of us that we can settle into. And let it be present fully in our minds right here and right now. Allowing the good, allowing the light, and allowing the life.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where right here in this moment, I am fully aware and immersed in this understanding that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one creative consciousness. There is only one genius. There is only one energy. And while we call it by many names, I choose in this moment to understand it as God. That this is all there is. God is the only thing that exists. And in understanding this, I am aware too that this is the core identity of each and every one of us, for there can be nothing separate from this magnificence, this God energy, God itself. Knowing that this is who we are, I trust that we, each and every one of us, find ways of enlightening up through play, through joy, through laughter, through harmony, knowing that this is the way life is meant to be experienced. The purpose of life is joy. And so I find more joy, I allow more joy, I let joy be my guiding principle today and evermore, And I trust we all do this in our own perfect way. And so it is with gratitude overflowing from within that I simply allow this to be. I trust, I know, and let it be so. As I release any attachment to the outcome, what it should look like, and I trust in what flows forth. I let it be so. And so it is. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me now and evermore. Now and evermore.
Thank you. Oh, well, I'm so grateful for this community and all that you are and all that you bring and all that you share. And this is the time in our service where we share and we give back. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering to the community, to our community today in terms of a financial contribution, and hold it in your hand. And I'm going to invite everyone online to participate in this activity of giving as well. You can go to unitytucson.com. And click on any of the donation links that are there and to participate as we give today. You can also phone in a card to the office during our regular office hours, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can send in a check, or whether you're in the room or online, you can text on a smartphone the word Unity Tucson to 73256, and you can give in that manner as well. But if you are holding whatever it is you're offering Unity of Tucson today in your hand, let us infuse it with the love that we share by sharing together our divine givingness statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me, and so it is. And we'll sing this song as the baskets go around. Feel free to stand up and move, too. I like to move on this song. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Here we go. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. One more time. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so
so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Yes, indeed. If you would please bring the offerings to the front of the room so we can take a moment to bless what has been collected here today. And know that what is in this basket is a representation of the infinite energy of love. For money is God in action. That is the truth. And as we have collected it here, it is making a temporary stop in this place to bless and fulfill the good that we have to offer here and to let itself be known in terms of the great work and the great message that we have here. And I'm so grateful for all that has been collected here. I let it be so as we now send it on its perfect way to do its perfect work. And I'm going to invite as well, if you would please also take the prayer box. And it is also then going to be available for your prayers to fill out a prayer request. That it'll be available in the lobby for you. So thank you so much. Blessings to you. And so it is. Sometimes I get so... That's the wrong door, Ross. I was like, I don't know where he's going with the money. That was good. He was playing, indeed. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So a couple of things that I want to let you know about. We have yoga here on Wednesday evenings for 2 more Wednesdays. We're going to shift yoga to Monday mornings beginning the first Monday in August. And so yoga for the next 2 Wednesdays will be at 6:30 p.m. right here in Harmony Hall, which is through that door, but I don't know if you can go through that door right now. Anyway, it's in Harmony Hall beginning in August, Monday mornings at 10:30. 9:30. I'm seeing yes, 9:30. Lynn is guiding our magnificent yoga practice, and I'm deeply grateful to her. I want to let you know, and just as a reminder, it is gentle yoga, and so you can do yoga in a chair. If you don't feel like if you don't feel like you can do let me see, what's a really good one? Well, if you can't do downward dog. For me, downward dog is easy, but if you can't do downward dog, you don't have to be able to do downward dog. You just have to be willing to move the body. Just be willing to move the body, and Lynn is very gentle and will work with you on that. It's a magnificent practice. We are continuing to collect stuffed animals through next Sunday. Next Sunday is the last Sunday of our collection. If you would like to create tote bags, we do still have a couple kits that are in and available in the bookstore area. You can take tote bags with you to sew. If you can sew a straight seam, you can create a tote bag. I can do it, so you can do it. And it may be a great way to engage in play this week. Play with your sewing machine. But we are asking that everything be collected as of next Sunday. Next Sunday is the final Sunday that we will be collecting anything. There's another thing that's going to be happening. On Wednesday the 28th, there's going to be a group who are going to be coming here to Unity to sort through and get everything ready to be delivered to Aviva, which is the organization that we deliver all of these to, Aviva, which supports youth who are being moved into foster care. They're going to be meeting here on Wednesday, the 28th of July at 9 a.m. If it can't be here right at 9, that's okay too. Yeah, but we would love to have some support to help put all this together for our donation. We do have an event coming up at the end of the month, the Mark Ehrlich's Spiritual Healing Weekend. Mark Ehrlich is a spiritual healer in this world, and he's going to be coming here to offer a spiritual healing circle on the evening of the 30th. He will then, on the following day, which is a Saturday, the 31st of July, be offering a full-day workshop right here, and then he will be offering private healing appointments as well on August 1st and August 2nd. The healing circle is by love offering, so we're saying suggested $20 donation to the community for that. There is a registration fee for the full day event, and you can pay that fee in our bookstore. I don't know if we're set up to do it in the lobby today. We might be, we might not, I'm not sure. Hopefully we are. but you can pay for it in the bookstore. We'd love to see you there. And if you have a willingness to take some flyers and spread them around town and places where you frequent, we would love to have your support in doing that as well. You can find out everything that's happening here at Unity of Tucson by going to unitytucson.com and checking out our website and finding out all the magnificent things that we are growing. Yes, so there we are. Trying to think, is there anything that I'm missing? I look to Laura always. That's right. I'm going to tell you that I'm not here next week. I have been hired to officiate a wedding next week in the Dominican Republic. So I am going to be heading to the Dominican Republic on Wednesday, which also means that I will have no access to cell phones. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. It's like, it'll be okay. I'm going to go and I'm going to play. I'm playing golf one day. It's going to be awesome. But I will be gone from Wednesday the 21st. We return on the following Wednesday. Next week is our annual Christmas in July celebration. It's going to be a good time. Darwin is going to be our guest singer next week. Yes, yes, yes. And Karen King will be giving the message next week. And I see Laura's walking up here, so she probably has something to say about this as well. She has something to say.
He's not expecting this, and neither am I.
Oh.
But we're really going to have a blast.
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed that he's leaving this place in charge of the inmates. You know, because I don't know what we're going to do. You know, William and I are supposed to be emceeing this thing, and I have no idea.
Have fun.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, the band is going to put up with us. You're all going to put up with us. But we are just looking to have a really good time. So see you all then. Wear your costumes, you know, whatever. It's going to be just woo.
Do you wear costumes on Christmas?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. We're going to just do it along. I'm making this up as I go along.
Aren't we all? We're all making it up as we go along. Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who's made today possible. I want to offer my gratitude to our magnificent technical team, Wally and Tyler and Don and Aiden, who are all back there, ensuring that we can be seen and heard, not just in the room, but also online. I want to say thank you to our magnificent participants today. Laura, for your beautiful meditation and prayer. Mary, thank you so much for sharing and lighting the candles. Always deeply grateful for you. I, of course, want to say I want to offer my infinite gratitude for these magnificent musicians, Linda, and Joshua and Raphael. So grateful, so grateful. I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here, making your presence known, celebrating with me and all of us this Sunday morning, and to everyone who's online. Deeply grateful for this community. As we complete our time here, let's share together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. All right. Once again, feel free to dance. If you think there's nothing new under the sun, if it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun'll come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. If you think you finally made your bed, and there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet? You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun'll come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen
everyone.